Hello, and welcome to week 12 of the Orion Bowl. So, week 11 is in the books. I'd like to say a big congratulations to the coach's sons. I needed the win last week, really. I mean, I have stayed in the same position because through pure luck. But yeah, it was always going to be tough against the coach's sons. And if I'm honest, they had to pull out all the stops to beat me. They put up a higher score than they have done in some time, 123.18, which is good enough for the highest score of the week. So congratulations to the Suns for the win and for the week's high score. Also, congratulations to the Colts for the Indianapolis Colts. It's so hard to say. It's fuck Forbes. They get it done, but let's be real. They didn't really even have to break a sweat because the Gorillas posted up this week's low score, which was 67.20. Man, I'd have loved to go up against that score last week because I needed that win. But it did keep the Gorillas below me in the league, but only just. I don't think that's going to last too much longer. The Harlots making their last run for a playoff position, getting the win against the Legion of Bad Decisions. Yeah, it was just a good solid win for the Harlots there. Congratulations. And the team with no Namath getting up to 5-6. Playoff spot is right within reach now. Most likely at the expense of myself. Maybe I can pull a few wins out. You never know. I'm on a bit of a losing streak right now. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So in the league, as I say, there is all to play for. Especially between the Burtimore Ravens, the team with no Namath, and the Danistray Gorillas. We were all sitting at 5-6. Now, because of my clean sweep of the team with no Namath this season, that is the only reason they haven't gone ahead of me. Because it goes on individual head-to-head record and then it goes on scores, I believe. But I will need to beat the Gorillas the next time we play each other. I don't know if we actually have another game. I'll have to check that. But either way, the Gorillas are looking good this week, and it looks like two teams are probably going to go ahead of me. I'm probably going to finish 6th rather than 5th, but I'd rather finish 6th than 5th because at least, finish 5th. You were so close. Finish 6th. It's like, I was miles away. Right, so moving on to this week, we have got the team with no Namath taking on the Legion of Poor Decisions. Now, Gibson, basically, the team with no Namath on Thursday night, obviously we had Thanksgiving, so we had more games than usual. The team with no Namath neglected to take out Swift, who is on injured reserve. However, Gibson, for the Washington team, may have negated that because he did put up 30-odd points, which is not bad at all. So, all in all, on balance, he's probably got about 2 players worth of points there. So I think that kind of negates the error, but he would be quite far ahead had he would be in a better position had he not played somebody who was on injured reserve. Obviously, that is always a pretty bad move. But, if Carson, Cooks and Wilson, they're all healthy, can they get a win back for the Legion of Poor Decisions, who, whilst they are sitting near the top of the table, they've been on a bit of a poor streak lately. But I would note that I think Julio Jones is likely out this week, which means that Calvin Ridley, for the team with no Namath, could very well be the difference maker. Obviously, he's got Kyler Murray as well, who's been putting up some ridiculous points lately. But it's that production there. If Ridley gets more of the ball in that matchup with the very pass-heavy Atlanta Falcons, I've got to lean towards the team with no Namath in that one. And with that win, they will likely go ahead of my beloved Burtimore Ravens. Another team that are set to go ahead of the Burtimore Ravens is the Danistray Gorillas, who take on the Baby Got Dak this week. Now, it's close so far, but it's got to be first blood to the Gorillas here because Thomas put up a 9.42 tight end there, and Dak has a lot of work to do because I think he's got kind of nearly 10 points, but he's played 2 players, and and he's got 6 players on injured reserve or COVID, or they're kind of out. I mean, hopefully for him, Julio Jones plays this week, because if he could play him rather than Hinton, who hasn't got a game this week, he's got Cooper Kupp that he can put in there. But he needs a big game from Nick Chubb, really. He needs a huge game from Nick Chubb to give himself any chance of beating the Gorillas this week. But I think it's clutching at straws, really, for Baby Got Dak. And I think Gorillas will take that win and they will go ahead of the Burtimore Ravens in that playoff position. It'll be between the Gorillas and Team with No Namath for that fourth spot. And the coach's sons taking on the Oakland Harlots. So I keep going to call them the Las Vegas Harlots, but no, they're the Oakland Harlots now. It wasn't a good night Thursday night for the Harlots. At 1.90 from Zeke. Oh, that's not good because you rely on Zeke to put up big numbers. And Cooper. He lit up Thanksgiving, putting up 17 points for the coach's son. So unless Adams has a crazy good game, I think the Harlots are in trouble here. And even if Adams does have a crazy good game, I notice that the Suns are looking to play Aaron Rodgers, which will negate some of the points. If he throws touchdown passes to Devontae Adams, yeah, okay, like the Harlots have taken those touchdown points, but he's also going to be giving points to the coach's sons, which is a good strategy because it negates kind of one of the only big power players that the Harlots have left to play. And that's a real problem for the Harlots there. And combine that with the fact that the Suns has Kelsey, Allen, and and Aaron Jones as well for Green Bay. I don't see how the Harlots win that one. Gotta go with the coach's sons. And your matchup of the week this week is the Burtimore Ravens against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Indianapolis Colts played Deshaun Watson on Thursday night, who may have killed me off early in this one. 33.12. It's a very good score for a quarterback. I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility that Patrick Mahomes could put up similar numbers. And if he does so, then I'm right back into this game. But you've got to remember that the Indianapolis Colts, they do have Derrick Henry and Hill to play. And obviously, if Hill gets a load of touchdowns, then that negates some of the score that I'm really getting from Patrick Mahomes there. So I need Patrick Mahomes to play to pass to everybody except Hill. That's basically what I need to happen. I need a very big game from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I need my gamble on James White to pay off because obviously there's no Rex Burkhead this week in New England. So I'm taking a gamble on James White. Now I know he's still going to split the backfield with Sony Michel and that other fella. But in terms of pass catching ability, that other fella and Sony Michel really can't hold a candle to James White. I'm hoping that that's what's going to be the difference maker when he lines up in the slot on those plays, and hopefully that combined with his increased production in the backfield is hopefully that gamble. I'm rolling the dice there, but the time to gamble is now. You know, I've got to do something. I've also picked up Pittman for Indianapolis because in the last few games he's been targeted quite a lot. He's got to put up some good yardage. He's been getting into the end zone. He seems like he's coming into his own as a target for Phillip Rivers. And I'm really hoping that continues into this week. And obviously DK Metcalf's one of the best receivers in the league. I'm hoping that he puts up his usual numbers. That is all very much clutching at straws. I do predict that the Colts take this one and that knocks me out of the playoffs. I think that this is curtains for the Burtimore Ravens. It's a sad time of the season for the Burtimore Ravens. I mean, it's not over yet by any means, but I feel like there are going to be two teams going ahead of me this week in the league, those being the Gorillas and the team with no Namath. But you never know. I live in hope. But either way, it's going to be fun to watch. It's like watching a car crash. You can't look away, can you? You can't look away. How are the Burtimore Ravens going to screw it up this week? That's what I always look for. But either way, best of luck to everybody. Obviously not to the Gorillas and to Namath, because I'd like to keep you below me in the league if possible. But I just don't see that happening with your matchups this week. And and hopefully, look, Forbes, if you could just not play Derrick Henry, that would be marvellous. If you play Derrick Henry, you know what? #fuck Forbes. No, I'm just kidding. Got a great team there, mate, and Deshaun's given you a really good head start. Hopefully the Burtimore Ravens can keep it competitive, but who knows. Best of luck in all of your games this week, whatever you're playing for, be it Pride, be it playoff positions. We'll see how this all pans out. I'll catch up with you next week. Take care.